Welcome to Gorilla Radio episode 214. That is not Mike. That is, we'll let you decide whether he's better looking or not than Mike.
Way better looking.
Matter of opinion. Maybe we can put a survey out there. No. I got Brandon Razzo, who is our girls ranker extraordinaire, has to decipher lots and lots of girls results where everyone beats each other. The number 5 through 25 all have beaten each other at least 3 times. Mm-hmm. So he's coming here all the way from Illinois. We won't hold that against him. How's Illinois doing these days?
It's not as good as Indiana. I can tell you that much. But it's going good. It's luckily I'm can still do what I can to be involved with Indiana wrestling, high school wrestling somehow. And I started doing this about 4 years ago.
About 4 or 5 years ago, I think. Yeah. It's been
and since then it's been awesome just to see the sport grow and some of these programs starting to build. So it's pretty good.
Yes. Yeah, it's we were just talking beforehand. There are 1,921 girls at sectional, and 253 programs had at least one girl, which we have about 210-ish, depends on the year. So we're about 60 programs don't have a girl wrestler, which is pretty small compared to what it was just a few years ago. And it's crazy to see the growth, and it's neat to see it like firsthand and not hear from, your great grandpa about, how it used to be back in the day. And so it's pretty neat.
Because, now that, since, when the IHS, GW thing, everything starting to get established and building, now you're seeing a lot of these girls that started out when they're younger and they're starting to get up to high school. So it's, you're seeing better wrestling. You're seeing girls really start to really believe in the sport and keep growing in it. And it's awesome.
Yeah. I've been hearing some rumors about all girl middle school teams in this area. So they're looking for duels, they're looking for matches, things like that, which is kind of that next step, that next level with it. The other thing I noticed, and I was looking at last year's regional brackets, there were about 14 forfeits, which I think a lot of people originally were like, well, they should have made it less sectionals and stuff. But now I want to say there were about 4 or 5 is what I counted. One was because someone dropped out of the bracket. Don't know why, but there was not a 5th place. There's only 4 in the weight class. So pretty neat. It's already down to that. And there's, 4 or 5 forfeits at sectional in the boys or at regional in the boys. So it's not that much. It's growing pretty quickly. And I think that I think they did a great job with starting with the 16 sectionals and letting, big enough that it's not going to have to change. They're not going to have to add semi-state next year.
Yeah, no, I think where it's at right now with the numbers, it's working out.
Yeah. So yeah, good. It is this Saturday. They did move it off the Friday, which I think it's going to be interesting seeing what refs are at each event because they also have team state.
That's what I was kind of wondering. You got, girls regional and team state now being on the same day. It's like, we're hurting enough with officials, really good ones. So yeah, we'll see what happens.
Yeah, I know at Team State for 1, 2, and 3A they were running 6 mats for most of the day, and then would go down to 4 at the end. But now they are only doing 4 mats for each class for each division. So there's 6 less mats they have to get referees for. So that should make things a little bit better for them. So it should be good. It's going to be a busy day of wrestling, trying to keep up with all that's going on, but that's a good thing. So we're going to go over the brackets a little bit, kind of highlight some of the big matches. I know there's some weight classes. You said Muncie at 130 is going to be a barn burner. Anyone like standing out from you from like overall statewide? I mean, I know a lot of our number ones are pretty
So
established.
individually, no, but just some stuff I'm seeing out of the teams. You know, Hobart, their team, they got so many in the lower weights that are really good, and they're young. They got a pretty young team. I'm excited to see what they do over these next couple of years. And reaching down south, Floyd Central, they got they got a couple girls in the lower weights that are having a pretty good season. And I think that could be something that probably grows down there with them. I think that could be a program that starts to come around down there.
Yeah, I think Sisson has a daughter that's wrestling, which
Yeah, and
he's a pretty good coach. He's a pretty good coach. Period. And
she's a freshman this year,
yeah,
so you know,
yeah, when you have a vested interest in in an individual, plus obviously having good individuals surrounding them, that helps a lot. So I think my first bracket we have is Bloomington South, and we do have brackets with the rankings on them. So if you go to the website, you can see that stuff. Just got those up today. That was uh, took me a little bit to get those up there, just because of some other things keeping me busy with Team State. So you got Adlin Sisson, as we just spoke about at the top. Uh, Caitlin Foudy, number one. No big tick around matches here. Mariah Pope from Bloomington South, and then Ella Keller. So very well spread out with the ranked girls. Anything you see in this bracket?
yeah, Foudy is definitely the standout here in this weight class. But other than that, there's it's pretty wide open. Other than that, for second through fourth place, you know, Sisson's probably the top to come, maybe out of that quarter. Um, Bloomington South girl and Pope is pretty solid, and Franklin has Keller there, uh, and that's something they need to hope to get some points out of if they want to try and be in the team race come state time.
Yeah. So 113
105.
or 105. Jeez. I'm used to talking about the boys, I guess. See one of our forfeits. I think this is the one at Floyd Central. There's only one girl at
At
105.
105.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But everywhere else, which is it's pretty crazy to see that just the growth and that we don't have the forfeits and everything. You got Ella Nybert from Indian Creek. Her and Isabel Ocampo are poised to possibly meet in the state finals. Hopefully, it's under the lights, so that could be a real good match. I know Ella has wrestled up a little bit, so and then came back down to 105. So could be that's probably one of the matches everyone I think is probably looking forward to.
Yeah, I think when it gets down there, that's definitely one that everyone's going to want to see at state. I mean, Ocampo coming down from 115, winning state at 115 last year, and neighbor, I think she won 100 last year, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so you're gonna have a couple state champs battling it out, and yeah, she wrestled up kind of the second half of the season, and when it was getting down to tournament, I was kind of when I'm coming to do the rankings, I'm like, where are some of these girls gonna go? Because I saw Campo down to 105, and I was like, has she got her scratch yet? And then found out she got her scratch weight, and I was like, okay, this is gonna cause a little noise through the girls wrestling.
Yeah, no, that's good. It'll bring some attention, and it going after the competition, especially right now with the level of the girls that are in the top 4 or 5 in a lot of these weight classes. You want to seek out that competition. So Nybert has a couple forfeits, and then she'll have Marcelo Valencio and in the ticket round.
Yeah.
Tanisha Ditz of Columbus East is in the bottom half there. So there's only 2 ranked wrestlers in this
Yeah. And then
bracket.
the Reese girl from Posey, she's just outside the rankings, so that could be a good possible, ticket round match right there with Reese and Ditz.
Mhm. So 110. I get my five pound increments for a while. Scarlett Ruddock of Floyd Central, another young Floyd Central Highlander. Are they Highlander girls? Good ticket round match with Elizabeth Dowdy. Right there, obviously, probably not a match you won. And you got another Lila Epstein of Brebeuf Jesuit and Chloe Nadelsky from Whiteland. Whiteland, pretty good program there.
They
They,
got a real solid team this year, and but they got some of the coaching staff that they're definitely putting time in with it, and that's one coach that's been really helpful to me this year. I mean, I think exchange messages every day, and he helps me catch anything else I may not hear, or he lets me kind of know, hey, I'm hearing this person's thinking of going this way, or and stuff like that. So to have a coach like that that's given that much dedication right now, um, and into girls wrestling, it's nice to see, and it's definitely contributing to the program.
nice, that's good. So a lot of good ticket round matches here. Kenna Kleinschmidt of North Posey versus Jessica Price, first round. Curtain jerker, as Triple B would say. And then Anna Marie Schuler from Seymour. She doesn't have any ranked girls, so pretty good weight class here.
Yeah, a lot of good girls here. Dowdy, very very tough. Um, the Epstein girl been having a pretty solid year, but unfortunately she's kind of gets a tough draw with Nadelsky from Whiteland. Uh, Kleinschmidt Martin could be a great match. Jessica Price being that fourth place finisher, um, she's pretty solid. She came out of a tough sectional, and Anne Marie Schuler, great. I think it was a 2-1 match last week, ultimate tiebreaker. Her and Nadelsky. So that's definitely one you could see under the lights again,
Yeah. So I should
or
people
not under the lights. I mean, in the finals
yeah.
for this.
Going up 115. Mariah Morfitt from Whiteland. She's number 4. She could have Alyssa Livingston from Owen Valley. Um, there in the ticket round there. Other ranked wrestlers, Jalen McCammon from Sullivan. I assume that might be Spencer's sister. It's always interesting seeing the same names that you see at those schools. So Katie Epley from Mooresville, the other ranked girl in the bracket. Anything stand out at 115?
Um, Not a lot. That second quarter bracket, I think, is probably maybe one of the most open. With Bullock, even a major, and Will there from North Posey. I think that one's pretty wide open. Um, I think Epley is probably one of the clear favorites here for this weight class.
120. Uh, Chloe Weber, Mooresville. Micaiah Perkins from Whiteland. Both are probably heavy favorites in their brackets. Braley Rissikat from, man, getting real good with the names today. From Jasper, Gloria Cloud from Columbus East. So you 9-14 possibly ticket round. That should be a good one. And then the bottom quarter bracket doesn't have anyone ranked there. So anything.
Yeah, that bottom one doesn't have anyone ranked. But the Delilah Pierce, she's had some pretty solid wins this year over some good girls, and Kelly Jo Bowler, you know, um, she's been to a state qualifier before. Just started out the season with a couple bad losses, but she's been wrestling a lot better here towards the end.
Okay. The game is the football game on?
It is. I don't have it on yet.
Oh, I didn't know. The IU games tonight? I thought it was.
No, I use tomorrow night.
Oh, okay.
That's
I
why
was
I'm
like,
making. That's why I'm making sure I get my 5 hour drive back to Decatur tomorrow to make sure I'm there in time to watch the game on TV.
good. I was gonna say, I was like, someone said the game's on. I'm like, whoa, 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 whoa. I like, did I miss something? Well, I mean, you get to brag about IU now, and for
Oh, I'm
once,
having a blast over here. I am having a blast.
the Ole Miss Miami. Okay, we don't care about Ole Miss since our guy Jet said he's going to Purdue. So 125. Man, Miss Inthia LaRose. Man, these girls' names.
They're harder than the boys' names.
Yes, Adeline, but a lot of them are the same names. It's like Adeline. Oh, it could be spelled 14 ways.
Yeah,
Adeline
yeah,
Gambling from.
not a lot sticking out in this weight class. Gambling Skirvin could be a pretty solid ticket round match. Red Wine and Foudy, definitely two of the better ones. That could be a pretty good semifinal match if they meet up.
So you got three top 8 ranked girls that obviously you're not going to want to see that the Bloomington South draw at region or at state. I want to say semi-state after regional, but after at state, obviously you have 3 good girls that are going to be potential first round matches. 130, Janela Dale Speedway, Marley Woods has a good ticket round match. Go ahead and what's going on there?
So that top bracket, four younger girls, all solid, decent wrestlers. I think Dale kind of maybe stands out just a little above them, possibly, but I think any 4 of those could definitely pull through that bracket. Woods and Ramirez, that's probably going to be one of the better matches of the tournament. I mean, 130, everyone, is trying to dodge, certain people at certain weights because 130, 135, 140, those 3 number ones are just, they're stacked. And a lot of girls ended up down at 130, and Woods and Ramirez, and then Hunfield. Those are 3 girls right there that anyone can beat anyone.
Yeah. So yeah, good weight class there. Obviously, I know there's a couple weight classes with a couple returning state champions, and that's kind of great. I mean, especially towards when you start getting like 130 plus, there's no real hiding. It's just like if you're at 215 or 190 and heavyweight, you can't run away from anybody there. So should be interesting. 135. Maya Mankey from Southridge at the top, and looks like all the ranked wrestlers are separated from each other, but should be a pretty good bracket.
Yeah, I think right here, I think pretty much, most of your ranked girls are probably the favorite within their quarter. But as to who will win this weight class, I mean, who knows? I don't think Williams and Evans have wrestled this year, so that could be a possible finals match in this weight class at the regional. That could be a pretty good one.
So 145, right? Yes, or 140.
140.
We're still at 5-pound increments.
One more 5-pound, and then it changes.
Yes, I gotta. So got Ellie. Yeah, first round matchup number 8, number 16. Then you got Jaslyn Diaz Avalos from Franklin, and Madeline McCartney from Mount Vernon Posey. So 4 ranked girls, but only possible 3 make it through.
Yeah, who we got? Is it the Silcox and Sequoia? Yeah, so the Sequoia girl, she just got into the rankings because you take her, the Rainy girl, Wagner, Suxworth. I mean, a lot of these girls have kind of passed some wins and losses back and forth um, to each other. So this bracket, it's pretty much wide open. I mean, Diaz Avalos though is probably the standout at this weight class at this regional.
So 145. Ava Allen from Silver Creek. It's always cool to see some of the smaller schools are having some success here. Um, Silver Creek, was she a runner up? She might have been. I think she's a
Now
previous
she,
champ, right?
yes,
So, always neat to see. You don't see Silver Creek in the boys' side very often, and she's having success. So hopefully that helps not only the girls' program at Silver Creek, but the boys' program could get a little spark from her having some success there. Am- Ambrin Siddons from Mount Vernon Posey. Then you got Olivia Knable from North Knox and Aubrey Belzer from Franklin. So everyone's kind of spread out here also.
yeah, everyone's kind of spread out. I'd say your best ticket round match in that weight class is probably going to be with the Sipos and Knable girl.
155. Marin Wigginton, not Wigington. I've been told that hopefully they'll get that name fixed. At the top, number 4, another Whiteland girl. The only other ranked girl would be Maylee Skinner from Madison, 3 and 4. So that could be a good finals match. They got separated well there.
Yeah, this weight class, those two middle quarter brackets, it's anyone's for the taking in those. That Romero from Franklin, she has 13 losses, but I think a lot of those were actually up at 190. She was wrestling 190 the beginning of the season, and their 155 pounder quit, and so that kind of opened up a spot there. And since they got Robertson at 170, the only way to have the spot is 155, and now she's 2 wins away from being able to go to state. So
yeah, and a very winnable quarter bracket too.
Right.
So 170. Lily Wolke from Brownsburg. I assume she wrestled at Apple Valley last year because her brother was there. Eleanor Robertson from Franklin Community having a good sophomore season. She could run into Grace Marshall, who took her first loss last week. So you can go ahead with the other rest of that bracket.
Yeah, so that's tough draw for Marshall there with Robertson for a ticket round match. But then that next quarter, you got Blackwell, a senior from Mooresville, and Columbus East with a pretty good freshman there in Redmond. So another good ticket round match right there. And then you look at the bottom, and you look at these records. I mean, there's a chance that Woods girl from Whiteland, could come out of that quarter bracket, even though she has a 10-12 record.
Yeah, no, that's I mean, Whiteland's looking for a team state title, and if they can, push a girl like her through the state, that's huge.
Mm-hmm.
Because anything can happen on that Friday morning. I guess can't even say Friday night in girls. It's Friday morning. So 190. You have Amelia Oliver, Mount Vernon Posey. I think Mount Vernon Posey seems like they have a pretty solid team. Seeing a lot of their girls in the rankings.
Yeah, Mount Vernon. Yeah, for Southern Indiana, they're definitely one of the better teams. They got a handful of girls that are pretty solid. But I think a couple of them. I don't know. I think they're probably all almost seniors, if not all seniors. So hopefully they can have some girls coming up here in the future too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So Keegan LaRoche In that second quarter bracket is the only ranked wrestler. And then the bottom half, Alexis Goodman, freshman from New Albany, the only other ranked wrestler. It's crazy to see all these sophomores and freshmen, especially at the upper weights. It's not like you see the boys where the last two weights are all juniors and seniors. So,
Yeah.
which bodes well for the future. So that's always a good thing. 235. Anything stand out there?
Not a whole lot. This is a weight class too that it's been kind of hard to because there's a lot of girls that only have maybe no losses or one loss or two losses, and their losses are just to the most random people out there, and then they got wins against other highly ranked girls. So 235 has been pretty tough ranking wise. So to me, outside the top 4 to 5 girls in that weight class, it's wide open.
Yeah. Now they got Jacqueline Hildeberg, Dharma Aguilar.
And she's had, I think the Hillenberg girl, she's had a pretty good and impressive season so far. A lot of improvement over her previous seasons.
Yeah. So you got 3 ranked girls there, so it should be a good weight class there. Which weight should we go to next? Oops, wrong thing. Or which regional? Any
Whichever one you want.
Let's do Plymouth. I might be able to bring this up to make it a little bit better. So give me a second. That way, easier to see on the screen. It's about a half bracket each. Oof. One more. There we go. Let's see. Plymouth Regional. There we go. Whoa. Let's remove. Can I make that bigger? Hold on a second. Let me. Oof. There we go. Now let's bring our cameras back in. So hold on a second. Oh, there we go. Maybe. There we go. Ha. There we go. That looks a little bit better. Okay. 100 Plymouth Regional, Joanna Cantu. At the top of the bracket, number 4 in the state, Megan Thomas, Maryville. Pretty neat to see up here. You see Hobart, Maryville. You'll see Crown Point, a lot of Crown Point girls. So neat. It's cool to see in this area, at least in the northern area of the state, you see a lot of familiar team names.
Yeah, those Hobart, Maryville, Crown Point, they've all had girls the last few years, and they've started building their programs. I mean, their numbers, especially Crown Point's numbers over the past 2 to 3 years have jumped, exponentially, to say the least. But this is, 100 this year is really good. The Cantu girl actually just dropped down from 105, being up there all year, dropped down to 100. And it makes that weight class a whole lot tougher.
Yeah. So she has a pretty clear path in her bracket. Megan Thomas, number 8 from Maryville. You got Chelsea Fleshman from Central Noble, Jayla Powers from Crown Point, and then bottom quarter, Chloe Smith of Jimtown and Amelia Andreessen from Munster. So a couple freshmen that could be in the ticket round there.
Yep, and those two, they just hopped into the rankings on this last update with Smith and Andresian.
Oh, if we pronounce it improperly, someone will say something usually. So next 105 Hadley Farote. How does a Farote in at Wawa C? Can we get did someone get excommunicated from Decatur or what? Are
Not
they
that
related?
not that I didn't know of.
Just it's weird seeing a Farote at a school that's not Belmont. Alexis Rodriguez of Hobart. That's actually my wife's maiden name. Zariah Chisholm of Maryville. That should be both those are the two ranked girls in the top quarter bracket.
Yeah, so this one, the Rodriguez, the freshman, having great season so far. And she was at 100, and they flip flop there. Um, Chisholm Suggs could be a pretty solid ticket round match. Jimtown has a really good freshman and Sophia Carper. Um, and she'll have her hands full with, Kiwa Yu of Crown Point, senior state qualifier last year. And that's a win that Crown Point needs to make Crown Point. It seemed like they weren't on the better side of some of the draws here at regional. They got a lot of ranked girls, but they could lose out on some points this weekend from some of their draws.
Yeah, that's a tough. I mean, obviously we know how the ticket round it is, and it can be brutal there. So yeah, that's a pretty good weight class. And Crown Point has, I think they could. They're one of the few teams that might be able to, if they get on a roll, could maybe push Whiteland, but they're going to need girls like that to qualify to give them shots in multiple weight classes. So going down 110, Grace Pinkleton Portage. She will have a tough Jasa Tuggle from Maryville Portage rivalry. And then Annika, probably gradeless favorite in that other quarter bracket.
Yeah, let's see here. Yeah, but Pinkleton Tuggle, that's gonna be a pretty good ticket round match right there. Gradeless having another good year. What she have? 3 losses, I think. At least 2 of them are probably to Ocampo. As you make your way down the rest of that, kind of pretty wide open, that bottom half of the bracket.
Yeah.
The Robledo and O'Shea, that could be a good ticket round match.
115, Alexia Utley, Lowell. She's the only ranked wrestler there. In the other quarter bracket, Madeline Sharp Chesterton. Any other ones to watch there?
Utley, got Sharp in there. Whitmer, Angelini, could be a pretty good match right there for your ticket round match. And in the bottom bracket, Thomas and Nellett right there. I mean, L'Oreal Thomas has 15 losses, but a lot of them losses are also to a lot of the ranked girls too. So that could be a pretty good first round match.
120, Marissa Schneider from East Noble. She looks like she's senior, number 7, Alice Gill, freshman from Munster. So she's in there. Her quarter bracket, Madeline Thompson, number 4 versus number 11 from Crown Point. As you said, they did not get good draws. And then Culver Academies, I haven't seen them be in the girl realm, which that's good to see. Flynn Carrillo, only 2 losses on the year, so that's a pretty solid weight class.
Yep, another good ticket round there with Thompson and Neal. Alex Gill Alice Gill, pretty solid freshman there out of Munster. They're in that bottom bracket. Yeah, like you said, see Culver Academy is with a girl. Um, she's had a pretty solid season. Good first round match there too between Stevens and Goliv.
125. Maya Hammond from Garrett, tough freshman. I know she's had a lot of national level success. Angel Smith from Plymouth, Coach Smith's daughter. So that could be a good number 3 and number 6 in that top half bracket.
Yeah, two good girls there. Hammond, really tough freshman out of Garrett. Garrett, I think, they have a real good team this year. They have, I think, another young girl coming in next year for them. They're right there in the race. They got with 3 to 4 girls that they can rack up some points and make a push in this race.
Yeah, they have. I think it's an ASA coming up, but yeah, they'll lose Nevaeh Wilson, but also gain a high state placer coming up. So that should be pretty interesting in there. Going down last half of the bracket, a really good freshman, Corbella Wesley. I know there was a little bit of some people were saying that you shouldn't rank a freshman over a returning state champ, but give us a little bit of lowdown on why she's been pretty much number 1 all year long.
Basically, I was said she's the real deal for a freshman coming in, and she's proven that time and time again this season. She's pretty much dominated everyone so far. Let's see some of her wins. Yeah, she's pinned Alvarez, Techfold Foudy, pinned Smith, Major Thompson, Tech Thompson, pinned Colbreth. She's not having any close matches, and so she's definitely proven her number 1 ranking from beginning of the season till now as a freshman.
Yeah. And then the bottom quarter, Helene Papadakis from Crown Point. So she got a better draw other than the semifinal with a pretty tough freshman.
Yep. Yeah. These. Papadakis definitely the favorite coming out of that last quarter there. But yeah, this weight class I think is pretty straightforward with Hammond, Smith, Wesley, and Papadakis.
130. You got number 1 Ava Strayer, returning champ. She's pretty good. She's in that top quarter bracket, and then you got number 2 Caroline Belixa from Plymouth, undefeated. She'll show off some tough matches. And number 3, yeah, lots of got 1, 2, and 3 in this weight class. Unfortunately, Elaine Alvarez from Maryville will have a tough take around match.
Yeah, that's tough for Maryville, because they got some strong girls, but they may lose. They could lose this wrestler right here, but they got some chances in other weight classes to make up with some girls getting through that got some pretty favorable draws for them.
Yeah, 135. Isabel Reller from Penn. Oh, geez. Nevaeh Wilson from Garrett is ranked. But there's also another Nevaeh Wilson that messes up with the linking of that stuff. Or is she still number 2? She's either 2 or 3, isn't she?
135. She should, I think, still be number 2 behind Nema.
Yeah.
Because that's who, I think that's who her 3. Yeah, that's her 3 losses to Gafar.
Yeah. So, so she is number 2 there. There's a Nevaeh Wilson from Kokomo, I believe, that messing with all of the links and everything and throws me off every time. So that, tough quarter bracket there. Anything else in this bracket stick out? Obviously,
Uh,
Wilson, Wilson, and
you should have a
and
good
Farr.
ticket round. You should have a good ticket round match there with Helminski and Taylor, freshman from Hobart and a senior from Crown Point. The Helminski girl, pretty good season so far as a freshman. And she was a name I was given at the beginning of the year, and she so far proven to be pretty solid.
And then you got Naima Gafar. She's pretty tough. Obviously, her and Wilson have wrestled a few times, and it's it's going to be a battle. But you wrestle a good opponent enough, it doesn't get any easier to beat
Nope,
them over and over.
nope. And a lot of times it's that last one, that most important one, where the person that hasn't won all year somehow pulls it out.
Yeah, and I know the Garrett coaches are always looking to try to find a way to win, and they're gonna obviously you knew when you're going to that weight class that it wasn't going to be an easy task, but going after a good competition never hurts and should be hopefully obviously they would be on the opposite sides at state as long as they are 1 versus 2 or 3, so that could be under the lights at Corteva Coliseum. So 140 Kennedy 9 from Wawa C on the top bracket. She's number 5. Then she could have run into Allison Sharp of Chesterton. Anything there that sticks out?
With that top half, no, not a lot. The Arse and Winter could be a pretty solid match, and both could have be a good ticket round match there with the Sharp from Chesterton.
Bottom half, Kylie Benoit versus Kylie Peterson. One will have to change the way they spell their name. They're Kylie.
Yeah, Pearson, a pretty good freshman there from East Noble. She ends up losing to Kennedy 9 from Wawasee last week, and that loss puts her in a ticket round with one of the best in the state with Kylie Benoit from Crown Point. So tough draw for her, but that should be a pretty good match right there in a ticket round.
In the bottom quarter, Mackenzie Shoemaker from Bremen could run into number 15, Addie Hendricks of Hobart. Another Hobart girl there. 145, Laporte Aubrey Kletke is on top there. And then Melody Vasquez from Highland. She was second last week and ended up getting a little bit more favorable of a draw there.
Yeah, so in this top half, the could be a pretty good. Well, yeah, that's a bad draw for Barnhart coming out of there winning a sectional and now has to face Vasquez from Highland there at 145. Duke, you got to back up.
So, and bottom half, Elaine Lines from East Noble, got Charisma Lawrence from Maryville. Some other good matches there.
Yeah, we got the Lanes girl, ranked there at 16th. But that quarter right there, those 4 girls, all pretty solid wrestlers. Even though the rich girl is 11-14, she's faced a lot of tough girls this year. A lot of her losses are to ranked girls. So that's pretty wide open right there. And Lawrence, very tough senior there from Maryville.
155, 3-time state champion, Alexandra Bastaic from Highland. She's pretty good. Has she lost do you know if she's lost in Indiana?
Not that I know.
Not, yeah. She's pretty good. I know there were some asterisk losses on her record this year because of the Columbia City event, but she's undefeated on the mat. Mother Nature does have one win over her. Should we put that one in the on the significant wins? Mariana Castro from Warsaw, senior, on the other quarter bracket there.
Yeah, so Castro and Beach, that could be a decent ticket round match right there. And that's one of these things. You see some of these schools like Culver Community, a lot of these smaller schools having, girls either making it to state, placing at state. So that's really awesome to see.
So yes, Jim Vrabel confirmed she has not lost in Indiana, which is not surprising. She's pretty good. Uh, Bottom half bracket, you got Reagan Trineri, really good number 2. This will be her first. Has she wrestled? Did she lose to? No, she lost in Ohio. She'll have number 15, Olivia Hunt. She was supposed to wrestle Bastaic at Columbia City, but they did not wrestle that day. Gabby Robles of Hobart is the other ranked girl. So you got 1, 2, and 6 and 5 in this bracket. So pretty good bracket overall.
Yeah, pretty good bracket here. Luckily, they're all spread out pretty much. And again, right there is another, draw for Crown Point with Hunt drawing Trineri. Like to see how this Robles girl from Hobart, she's having a pretty good season, much improved from last year.
And then that's Trineri and Bastaic are both returning state champions too. So another weight class. I don't know why Kraus wants all his girls going against returning state champions, but maybe we can ask him about that. No mountain's too high to climb, so but you're going after the best, and I know Trineri has another year, so she's pretty good. 170, Kennedy Pierce from Wawa C's ranked in number 8. Then you got number 6 and 9, Jada Miller. Crown Point, Jacita Brown, Fairfield. Only 4 and 2. Is that correct, or did she come back late?
So I'm not sure if she was injured or what, because she wasn't anything all year. And I didn't even see her name on the roster on the USA bracketing. And then all of a sudden, she pops into a tournament because I had her ranked at the beginning of the year, and then all of a sudden it's like, well, where's she at? Mm-hmm. And now she's back in, and she's back in the rankings. She has 2 losses, but they're to 2 girls that are right here in the regional. All this 170 from the 5th or 6th ranked girl through number 30. You throw it in a basket and you draw out because everyone's beaten someone and everyone's lost to someone in this bracket.
Nice. Yeah. So it makes rankings easy, right?
it makes it so hard.
Because everyone has a case to be higher, but they also have a good case to be lower.
Yeah. You get that message, hey, this person beat this person. Yeah, that's great, but what about these 3 or 4 losses to people that's not on the list?
So bottom half bracket, you got Yvonne Rescalvo from Goshen, Destiny Martinez from West Noble, both 5 and 7, but also in quarter brackets free of any ranked wrestlers, but a lot of solid girls, it looks like.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, especially there, the Rescalvo, that the Compton girl. I don't have her ranked right now. She was at the beginning of the year, but she's 25 and 2. She's a good wrestler. She just hasn't had a lot of opportunities to wrestle some of these other ranked girls. So that right there, don't overlook her right there.
Yeah. 190, Stacia Crabtree of Rensselaer Central, and Naomi Arroyo from Lakeland. Unfortunately, she is coached by Kevin Watkins, but so we don't need to talk about her. Undefeated, probably just wrestling him every day. Probably counting those as wins.
Yeah,
Anything on?
right here in this top half, the Crabtree, pretty strong from Rensselaer Central. Arroyo having another really good year. Um, it was nice to see that her and Clevenger didn't wrestle like a dozen times this year. I think the past couple of years, I think almost every tournament they've wrestled each other once or twice at the tournaments.
Nice.
But I think Clevenger, I think she may have been at 235 beginning of the year, and now it's dropped down to 190 towards the second half of the season.
And then the bottom half of the bracket, Jasmine Spraggins from Lake Central and Miley Pfeiffer from Hobart. Both are.
Pfeiffer just hopping in these last rankings there at the bottom. But it's the same. The Maryville girl, the Central Noble girl, um, that should be a solid match, and whoever wins that, it'll be a good match with Pfeiffer there from Hobart. Spraggins, having a pretty good year, pretty good season, 2 losses. So her and the Enman, everyone is just like I said, they're right around there. They're all about the same level. So you're going to have a lot of good ticket round matches.
Mm-hmm. And 235, Lily Clark from Penn, Leela Regoza from Hobart. They're the ranked girls at the top. Do have a forfeit in there, unfortunately, but very few of these. The other 2 ranked girls, Kaylee Grace from East Noble and Chloe Oxier from West Central, could be a ticket round match.
Yeah, so a solid ticket round that match there with Graves and Oxer. The quarter bracket above that, I'd say that could be wide open, but don't be surprised. That Pickering girl from Portage could possibly pull through right there. Ragoza, probably your top one in this regional. You'll probably see her and Graves there in the finals.
Mm-hmm. So 2 down. We will go to Kokomo. Kind of crazy how close some of these are. How close these regionals are.
Well, not only that, but also, like what's Terre Haute coming up to Kokomo for?
Yeah,
like I don't get it. Some of the places where they have for these girls and where they're going, team wise, it just does not make sense.
Yeah, I know that it seems like at least the northern part they sliced it vertically or horizontally. I always say that horizontally instead of doing like the little pods, I guess, almost in each corner. Which, yeah, so like you have Kokomo and Muncie South, or Muncie Central. Jeez, R.I.P. Muncie South, which are probably within an hour of each other, if not even closer. So, but I think it's more.
And Plymouth really, I mean, that's not that bad of a drive from Kokomo. I mean,
no. So I don't know if they're trying to. I know that it's probably going to be changed. I mean, these are all totally different from last year.
Yeah.
So it's probably more trying to find the places that can host it and have the bigger areas. Kokomo's going to be a pretty good. That's where they've had state multiple times. Really cool gym and stuff. So that should be good.
That's a very neat gym.
Yeah. So it'll be. I mean, it's very interesting seeing where teams go for their regionals and stuff. So 100 Emma Ellis, Terre Haute North. Yeah, you don't see Terre Haute North and Columbia City in the same regional.
That's what I'm saying.
So you got Terre Haute North, you got Manchester and Attica. Attica is, so those are 3 in the boys, that's 3 different semi-states right there in that quarter bracket. So, yeah, Emma Ellis, Terre Haute North, having a good sophomore season. She's the only one ranked in the top half bracket.
Yeah, she's probably the favorite here out of this regional there at 100 pounds. Um, Here in the top half of the bracket, that next quarter bracket, um, you know, Sanchez, has plenty of people there to practice with at New Haven. So she has a pretty good shot there to bust through that quarter bracket. Um, and then you get down to the bottom. I think Funkhauser is probably the only ranked girl there. Um, Pretty good freshman there from Twin Lakes. So that could definitely, if that gets into the finals, Ellison Funkhauser, that could be a pretty good match there at 100 pounds.
105, Isabel Ocampo, returning state champion. Got lots of ranked girls here. Aaliyah Kinder from Logansport, you got 10 and 14 potentially in the tick around, and Giselle Doratillo from Jeffersonville, Lafayette Jeff. So, only 2 semi-states represented there.
Ocampo definitely, clear favorite in this weight class. I don't see anyone coming close to her. But you're going to have some other real good Kinder and Doratillo there in the take it round should be pretty good. Benton Central, Lorana Dillon, having a really good year. Benton Central has a few girls having pretty good seasons. But she could face Lily Gerald from Rochester. Then you get down there to the bottom, and you got Light Gable and Snyder. So a lot of good matches here at 105 at this
Yeah,
region.
a lot of ranked girls and no real place to hide as a ranked wrestler. I mean, obviously Ocampo's the class of the field here, but everyone else has 2 ranked girls in each quarter bracket. So that's good for the draw, but there's no easy path to state here. So should be some good matches in that weight class. 110 top half. Cadis Lyons, the only ranked wrestler. She's number 16. So a lot wide open half bracket there.
Yep, that top half is pretty wide open. The Marley Held there, the freshman from Terre Haute South. I have her just outside the rankings. She's the one that's kind of been on a watch list all year, but just hasn't had a chance to, really get a lot of matches against some of these other ranked opponents. To kind of build her resume. But she a pretty good freshman right there.
Bottom half, you got a couple ranked wrestlers: Jocelyn Cruz Rojas from Frankfurt and Spencer Martin from Kokomo. So, any other than those girls? Anyone else stand out?
No, not really. The Cruz Rojas, she just popped into the rankings after getting that win over the Lions from Seeger last weekend.
So 115, Shirley Walker, Western, Reese Benjamin, Park Heritage, number 11 and 16 in that top half bracket.
Yeah, that's looking probably about how it's going to be with that top one. That Ballard girl, she's a third place finisher there out of Carroll. But that could be maybe a good match there in the ticket with her and Walker.
And then going down, you got number 5, Macy Fordyce from West Lafayette, Giselle Klein from Northside. So those are, all the ranked girls are all separated here, but looks like all of them were champions. So that makes it easier. You don't have to worry about any draws.
Yeah, no, but they're in that bottom quarter. You could have a good ticket round match there with Klein and Coach from Sheridan.
Mm-hmm. Let's see. 120, Sienna Holster from Benton Central. The other Nevaeh Wilson is in this quarter bracket. Aaliyah McLean from McCutcheon's lurking at number 3 there. So pretty solid uh, half bracket there.
Yeah, 120 is a very good weight class in the state. They're in that top part. You got Holscher, who's ranked, but then the number one and that one, the Doran from Rochester, she's not ranked and only has 5 losses, but she's right there. She's battled with some of the top girls. She has some pretty good wins and some very close losses. So that could be a really good tick around match right there with possibility of Doran and Holscher.
And then bottom half bracket, Marissa Nicholas from Rossville, number 2. So you could have a number 2 and number 3.
Yeah,
last night or last week.
Yeah, and those two they've wrestled multiple times this year with Nicholas. I think winning every one so far. But yeah, that's probably your finals match right here with Nicholas and McLean.
And then Aniston Cheshire from Terre Haute North, the other ranked wrestler in that weight class. So 125, no ranked wrestlers in that top quarter bracket. That looks like it's everyone with 8 or more losses. So whoever comes ready to wrestle Saturday, gonna punch a ticket to state, which is pretty good. And the next quarter bracket though was not as lucky with 3 state ranked wrestlers.
Yeah, that's going to be a battle there with Sayer of Benton Central, Rifle of Park Heritage, and Rubush of Kokomo. 3 really good, real solid girls right there. But if you pop up back to that top quarter bracket, that Jaden Larkin of Fountain Central, I think that's probably one that could possibly come out of that quarter bracket. She has some good wins.
And then the bottom half, the only ranked wrestler is Lindsay Pugh from North Miami. So pretty wide open bottom half of the bracket. It seems like the bracket gods struck in this weight class, putting all the ranked girls in the same quarter bracket.
Yeah. Pugh, she the beginning of the season, had a couple losses, and I kind of had her out of the rankings. I think I started her in the rankings, and she had a couple losses. But these last couple weeks, she is wrestling really well. So I definitely, see her coming out of that quarter bracket and into the finals, and she possibly could win this weight class there at the regional if she wrestles the way she has been the past couple weeks.
130, McKenna McKee from Rochester and Olivia Gibson of Logansport, both the only ranked wrestlers here. But anything stand out here?
No, not much is sticking out with this top half.
Bottom half looks like it's another pretty wide open weight class, or half bracket there.
Yeah, it's wide open. You could have the possibility of a 4-over-1 right there with Miles and Bates. They're both pretty equal to each other. And then you got a freshman down in the bottom one, Riley Deal out of Fountain Central, having a really, really good season so far.
Yeah, undefeated. It's pretty crazy to see some of the match counts for these girls that are getting 20 to 30 matches, and that's a good thing to see. Even with a little bit shorter season.
Those are the teams that they're at a tournament every weekend and stuff. So
135, Aubrey Bates Seeger in the top half, then Michaela Philippi from Tri-Central. So good half bracket with a potential 3 and 8.
Yeah, Philippi, her one loss let's see who's that too. Weird up. There's everything. Lost everything for a sec.
35. It's already on it. Her one loss is to Gafar.
Okay, yeah, that's what I was thinking. So, but yeah, her and Bates could be a pretty good semi final round match there. But also in that top quarter, you got Bates who's ranked there, but um, that Biz Lauer of Carroll, she's had a couple pretty solid wins too this year. So don't count her out right there.
Then the bottom half bracket, no ranked wrestlers. So who's the predict? Who are the ones to watch here?
Yeah, so there's no ranked wrestlers here. The Perez, pretty solid. Pewarski, I think she may have been like a ticket rounder last year for Sheridan. And she's having 7 losses, but still having a really good season. There in the bottom one, Shelton, I believe she was a state qualifier last year or maybe the year before. So yeah, she's just outside the rankings, and actually she was in the rankings a couple weeks ago.
Okay, so one.
But everybody likes to beat everybody.
Yes. So everyone gets a turn in the rankings. It's just all it's fair, right?
Exactly.
140. Hadley Rowe from Harrison, number 13, and then Olivia Shepard of Twin Lakes. Man, these names. There are a few ranked wrestlers in this quarter bracket, but looks like there could be some potential good matches here.
Yeah. So besides the Troutner from Huntington North, I know nothing about these Huntington North girls because they all have barely any matches. So they're either like this one 3-0, another one was like 5-1 or something like that. So it's kind of hard to go off of that when you don't, there's not many matches. But Rowe, probably your favorite out of there. You could have a really good ticket round match with Ebbinger and Shepard.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's always hard when they don't. I mean, they're not wrestling as much in the off season as the boys are, so there's very little to go on. So she might be a stud.
Yeah, she could be.
Yeah. So interesting to see those. Bottom half of the bracket, you got number 11 Emily Welburn and number 14 Amara Frieden from Northfield. So another pretty wide open half bracket.
Yeah, I think. Let's see, Frieden, she's down from last year. I'm trying to remember what she was last year. Let's see. Oh no, she is actually up. No, she was. Yeah, she was a state qualifier last year.
Okay. So yeah, should be kind of a wide open weight class here at 140 when you're talking 11 through 14. And
this year right here, it's pretty wide open, but because and that right there could also even be a 4-over-1 with Winder and Frieden. Winder, she's been in the rankings this year too.
So 145, number 6, Lanessa Ocampo from New Haven. Yes, there are lots of Ocampos, and they're all pretty good at wrestling. She's the only ranked wrestler in that top half bracket.
And Ocampo has 5 losses, but I think 3 or 4 of them are probably to Troutner. Mm-hmm. But they're in that second one, Ocampo should come out of that top quarter. That second quarter, your ticket round match is probably right there in that first round with Enyart and Bailey. Bailey is a returning state qualifier, and Enyart has had some good wins this year over some ranked girls too.
Mhm. And then speaking of Troutner, number 5, Albert Troutner from Huntington North. Um, she's 8-0. Then Jade Chloe Johnson Western could be a good 4-5, real good semifinal match.
Yeah, that's probably that's gonna be one of the better matches of the weekend with Troutner and Johnson.
Yeah, they're both pretty good. Sophomore, junior. But Troutner's only losses to Dibberin. So 155. Paige Yarger from North Montgomery. And then you have a potential take around between 12 and 14. Evelyn Failer and Riley Walker. So you got Harrison.
Yeah, this is also another one of them weight classes. Brown's good, Yarger's good, Fowler's good, Walker's good. Um, get to the bottom. Allison Weiner, she's had some good wins. Ava Rowe, Bianca Monte. I mean, Miata Cole, Miyakota Cole. This whole bracket right now out of this regional it's anyone's for the taking.
Yeah, looks like it's pretty wide open. That one quarter bracket, you have all 4 semi-states represented, which is good, with Harrison, Hamilton Heights, Columbia City, and Terre Haute North. So that's kind of interesting that they're all coming together for the same regional for girls. But yeah, that looks like a really wide open weight class and definitely top to bottom pretty solid. So you know, while you're looking at these, you're always, I mean, just like in the boys, it's like you always look at, what regional or semi-state do you not want to draw on that in that first round match, and this is probably one of those that's kind of a wide open one that you really don't want to see first round at 155. So 170, you got Peyton Sainer from McCutcheon, Emerson Adkins from Tipton in the top half bracket.
Yeah, so Sainer there, has the ranking right now, but that should be a pretty good match with her and possibly Bays there for the ticket round match. Drop down to the next one, Atkins, very good wrestler there out of Tipton. She could face Fink or Zuber. Fink, good freshman that has been in and out of the rankings. Then you got the Zuber of Snyder with only 2 losses.
And then Lane Pepler from Rochester, another school that's really has a lot of good wrestlers. Only 1 loss on her season. That's to Pierce. 1-0 in tiebreakers. Wow. That's you don't see very many tiebreakers. It's a lot of pins if you look at their records. So then Avery Brooks from Harrison, West Lafayette. So a good half bracket there, and actually pretty good weight class overall. With you have a number 2 and 2 and 4 potentially in the finals.
Yep, good.
190, Isabel Schultz and Clara Gramlin from in the ticket round potentially. 2 girls, only 3 losses, and then the next half bracket is pretty wide open with everyone having a handful of losses or more.
Yeah, Schultz having a good freshman year. Unfortunately, she draws into a Gremlin from Lebanon, who is, she's been around. She's been down. She's a state placer and qualifier and all that noise. That next quarter bracket, that one's anyone's for the taking.
And then,
But I would probably, kind of looking at it, I'd put my money on maybe the Frankfurt girl to get through on that one. And then you drop down to the bottom half of the bracket. You got number 1 Aaron Cobble, in there, and is that number two? Yeah, number
Yes,
two,
number two,
Trista
Tristan.
Powers.
Yeah.
Um, and I think what Powers her loss is to Cobble.
Yes, 7-2.
Yeah, so those are your top two in this weight class, and unfortunately they're gonna see each other in the semis, but luckily that should put them on opposite side of the brackets
Yeah.
at state. So
So that won't matter too much as long as they're on opposite sides there. So 235. Another number one, Aubrey Barkowski. Barkow, Barkowiak.
caveat.
So she's number one in that top quarter bracket. Um, and then you got Addie Wirt from Twin Lakes, the only other ranked wrestler. She's a 4 out of Lafayette Jeff. So I assume that was
Yep. Yeah, so
pretty tough regional or
you could have
sectional.
a possible 4/1 right there. But the Wood girl 5-2 really don't know much about her. Looked at the girls she wrestled. Wasn't a lot to go off of. But they could face the winner of that. Could pull out against Maya Wagner of Mechaniqua. Had her ranked at one point this season.
And then bottom half bracket, number 12, Sophia Zarte from Benton Central. And then freshman Brooks Steinbacher from Columbia City, number 6. And then number 11, Carmen Michaelareth from Delphi. So 6 and 11 potentially in that ticket round.
Yep. Steinbacher and McElrath, possible ticket round right there. Steinbacher at Columbia City, as a freshman, 30-2 there at 235. She's solid. Like to see how she does if she gets a chance to make it to the finals, to see how she does with Barkowiak of Attica.
So that was Kokomo. So we just have Muncie Central. Travel a little bit closer. Let me.
Dirty Delaware County.
Delaware. Yes. So pretty good regional here. A lot of ranked girls. I think is this probably one of the. Would you say this is probably the tougher regional of the 4? Or is there any of them that sticks out?
I want to say it's a tougher regional. I think there's just I think a lot of good matches for this regional.
Yeah. Is there what regional? Is there one regional that sticks out? Kind of like Fort Wayne's the best out of in the boys' side. Is there any Fort Wayne's in the girls?
Right now, no, it's kind of hard. I mean, you do have the couple sectionals that are definitely the tough sectionals like that feed into. So honestly, right now, if anything, it's probably the South, Bloomington South, probably one of the harder regional with the teams you got with Whiteland and Franklin and some of the other teams. They have fuller teams and some good individuals.
Yeah. So it's interesting how I mean, the boys' side we complain about, sectionals or regionals or even semi-states are a little bit more top heavy, and then here you don't have quite as much yet, but it'll continue to grow. So 100 at Muncie Central, Katie Rowless, Jay County, and Josnit Vasquez Ochoa from Franklin Central. So pretty good opening match at this weight class.
Yep, yeah, starting the tournament off with a ranked matchup, but I think Rouse definitely controls that quarter bracket. Very good wrestler there, Jay County.
And then
next one, Claire May. Yeah, she should walk through her quarter bracket pretty easily.
Then the bottom half of the bracket, not as much You got number 3, Aaliyah Brown from Center Grove. She has some brothers that are good at wrestling. Also, I heard she's the toughest one from what I've gathered from inside sources inside the Brown family. They say she's the toughest one. Uh, and then Anaya Delgado from
Delgado.
Perry Meridian, number 6.
Yeah, I mean, just like right here, look at everyone that came out of the like C uh, sectional.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you got Vecas, Ochoa, May, Brown, and Delgado. Like all really good girls, all highly ranked. You know, coming out of that same sectional.
Yeah, that could be it. I mean, obviously, it looks like they are um, favorites other than Rowless, and actually came out the best way for all the ranked girls there
Mm-hmm.
to get out there. Obviously, that's one that you were looking for the bracket gods, and they actually were in the favor of the ranked wrestlers.
Right.
So 105, Zavia Brown from Lawrence Central is a champion there. Then you got number 4, Jadis Sordelet from Franklin Central. She's the only one ranked in that quarter bracket or half bracket.
Yeah, she's definitely a clear favorite there in that top half. And then in that top quarter, uh, probably probably going to see a 4-over-1 right there with Roel and Brown. And Roel probably a pretty good shot coming out of that quarter bracket.
Then the bottom half, you got number 6, Rihanna Benson of Warren Central, and then Demi Roney, number 13 of North Central. Anyone else stand out there?
No, nothing really standing out too much right there. The Zarate girl, I have her, I think, just outside the rankings. Um, so it could be a possible good tick around match there with her and Benson. Um, and same with at the bottom with Roney and Rodriguez. Hamilton Southeastern. Um, they don't. I think they only have like one girl ranked, but they're a solid team. They're pretty solid all the way through. They just haven't got those big wins that they need.
Yeah. 110, Haley Corporal from Eastbrook. Last rankings was the first time she was number 1 this year. She's number 1 in the top half of the bracket and the only one ranked. Anyone else to look out for?
Um, uh, and Jaden Hughes has, you know, not a great season this year, but she's had some success in the past. Down in the other one, you should have a good match there between Ray and Merritt in the first round. I think whoever wins that match is probably on their way to state.
Bottom half of the bracket, you only have one other ranked wrestler, Victoria Zelaya from North Central. Definitely ones with the single digit matches is they're probably kind of tough to throw in the rankings unless they have a lot of past resumes. So
Yeah,
she comes in 7-0.
Yeah, well, this girl, the Zelaya girl from North Central, didn't come back out. I think until like mid season. Like she wasn't wrestling at the beginning of the year. I believe she is also, if I'm correcting, she missed weight last year at sectional. I think she was ranked number 5 or number 7 and missed weight, and then wasn't out this year, and now she's out because North Central had that with a couple girls. She wasn't on the roster. Monica Alvarado wasn't wrestling, and then all of a sudden they were back in the lineup, and North Central had a pretty good team this year.
Yeah, well, at least with everyone using USA bracketing, if they certify and stuff, you can see where they're at. If they end up on the roster, that's usually a good thing.
Yep.
So it is nice to be able to see that. So anything else stand out in the bottom half of that bracket?
No, not much. other than Maggie Webb out of Blue River Valley, pretty solid.
So 115, Olivia Lemus from Roncalli, number 6, and then Kinley Keffer from Daleville, number 2. Keffer, she seems like she's like a 12th year senior. I don't know why. If it's, I just see it on the social media, but I didn't. I figured she was a senior, but she still has another year. She's had a really good career so far.
Very good wrestler. They're out of Daleville. Yeah, it's gonna be fun to watch her and Mo probably there in the finals.
Yep. So her only losses to Haley Corporal, 13-8. So bottom half bracket, Kendall Moe. She will have number 14 Grace Sharp, and has a forfeit first round. So one of the few forfeits. But anything else in that other quarter bracket looks like it's pretty wide open.
Yeah, pretty wide open. Franklin Central might be able to sneak one through right there, which is definitely something they need if they want to make a run at Whiteland next weekend.
And then Kendall Moe, she's pretty good. 3-time state champion. I'm pretty positive she probably has not lost in the state. Usually we have, you can feel that stuff, see that stuff there, but she's pretty good. Had a lot of national success. So 1 and 2 are on the opposite side, so that could be a good match. 120. Or actually, no, Mo. Oh, she does have losses, but they're on the boys' side. I was looking at her records. I'm like, man, she lost 6 times, but she has not lost to any girls. I'm pretty positive. Had me scared for a second. She does have over 100 wins for a career, which is pretty good. So, congrats to her. So 120, is it 120? 120. Claire Abbott, Richmond. Then you have is the regional champ or sectional champ, Anna McCarty from Beech Grove, number 5. So she's the only ranked one on that half of the bracket.
Yeah, she should come through that half of the bracket pretty easy. McCarty she's good. She's tough. She's a pinner. And then up there in the top one, Emma Jones out of Cowan. Probably one to come out of that one.
And then anything on the bottom half of the bracket looks like a couple of ranked wrestlers, 15 and 16, which those are usually fairly interchangeable spots once you get past number 10.
Yeah, fairly interchangeable. Mink, good freshman there out of Franklin Central. Again, another girl that they need to try and get through when it comes to team points for Franklin Central. And then down on the bottom, Lindsay Lannon, senior there out of Hamilton Southeastern. Just here now towards the end of the year, she got, some wins that got her onto my radar.
125. Got a good top quarter bracket. Kayla Roel from Milan and Hope Senety from from Southport, number 14. So you could have a 2 versus 14. Not the best draw you won, but looks like that the Perry Meridian sectional looked like it's pretty loaded. A lot of good girls.
Very good sectional. So right here in the top, Centeny, have her ranked 14th. She has how many losses? Is that 6 or?
Yeah, 6.
6 losses. She placed 3rd last year at state. But she had some losses that I didn't think they were good losses. So that really put her down. I actually had her out of the rankings for a minute, and then she started wrestling a little better. But still a tough draw for her, drawing Roel out of Milan.
And then Ariana Kazeta from Plainfield, the other one in the other ranked wrestler in the quarter bracket. bottom half, Grace Vandergrift from Lawrence North and Monica Alvarado from North Central, the only ranked wrestlers on the bottom half there.
Yeah, probably your two favorite coming out of that bottom bracket. Um, could also have a possibility of a 4-over-1 right there with Kearns and a Yoho.
130. Aaliyah, is that Aaliyah? Russell from Franklin Central, another one. Franklin Central, tough matchup there. She has number 8, Abigail Gilbert from Hagerstown. So a pretty good quarter bracket there. The top quarter kind of wide open. Good to see Cathedral having a pretty solid team this year after not. I think they had like one or two girls last year. Kendall Moe's there now and some other girls. So pretty good to see one of the top programs in the state have a pretty good girl, starting to invest in their girls program.
Yeah, and this Garage girl, I mean, I have her just outside the rankings. There for Cathedral. Yeah, they have her. Mo moving in this year, transferring to Cathedral. Then they got the Garage, and then they also at 170 have a decent girl and up there too. So,
Mm-hmm.
but yeah, this second quarter, I mean, this whole weight class 130 throughout the state, it's anyone from ranked number 2 through 10, depending what day it is, they're gonna beat one or the other. So very very good match right there, probably with Russell and Gilbert, and then you drop right down below to that next quarter bracket, and you have Paige Stiers of Lapel, number 7, and Georgia Carroll, who now I have at number 4. Last week she was at number 2 until she got beat by Russell. So, like I said, and Paige Stiers, I thought she was going to be out for the whole season with an injury, and I thought wasn't going to wrestle. I mean, because she's a pretty good softball player too. And then all of a sudden, mid-season, I get a message that, hey, she wrestled this weekend, and I was like, wow. And she's already hopped in, and she's. Let's see who'd she have to beat? Yeah, she pulled out a win against Gilbert, handed Gilbert her first loss last week. So yeah, that should be another good ticket match right there with Stiers and Carroll.
Yeah, sounds like a pretty good weight class. And you got Kylie Clark, Plainfield. She, I mean, she has a little bit better path, but it's a still, 3-loss Olivia Reyes there. It's she didn't have the tougher path that the others had, for sure.
No, she lucked out and got on the right side.
So, and the girls are quickly learning about the bracket gods, and I'm sure there was I know there were some anxious moments when not sure when the brackets are coming out, and then they got released, and everyone's heard some people trying to figure out their draws. So 135, Claire Bowman, Pendleton Heights, number 16 on the top quarter. And then you have a number 6 versus 12, Dayona Dyson, Franklin Central, and Malaya Parsons from Jay County. Could be a good ticket round match there.
Yeah, good ranked match right there. I still think Dyson has the upper hand right there. Up there in the top bracket, Bowman finally hopping into the rankings here towards the end of the year, and you can tell probably having a practice partner like Maddie Marsh, definitely helping her improve right there.
Yeah, and then the bottom half bracket, June Wagner Gilbert from New Pal. She'll have a tough Caitlin Moore from Perry Meridian, and then the bottom quarter bracket. Lots of losses, and so that's a pretty wide open bottom bracket.
Yep. Yeah, should be a good match there with Wagner Gilbert and Moore. But June Wagner Gilbert out in New Palestine is she's very tough. She's very good. Um, she should come out winning this weight class. I think her and Dyson. I don't know if they've. Can't remember off the top of my head if they've traded wins and losses back and forth.
Yes, they're one and or she's 2-1 over Wagner Gilbert's 2-1 over Dyson.
Okay, yeah, I thought they had wrestled a few times.
So per the reported results, which are mainly the ones you put in. So 140 top quarter bracket, actually top half bracket. Good luck. It's a wide open. Um, 7 losses or more for everybody. So that's gonna be a fun one.
Yeah, it's yeah, top half is wide open. But I think your sectional champions are probably your favorites coming out of these. Christine Fox, right there outside the rankings. Same with Lyra Rollins from Muncie Central. She's right there. She has some good wins. She has some ugly losses, but still a really good wrestler. Um, so I think those two are probably your two coming out of that top half.
Yeah. And then the bottom half, you got number one Maddie Marsh, two-time state champion. She'll have Madeline Thompson from Franklin Central, most likely in the in the semifinals. Marsh pretty good. Had a lot. I mean, she's another one of those top girls that's had some national level success. So, anything you see, I mean, will Thompson give her a good match or?
Um, Depends what you think a good match is. I think, I mean, it could be a 4-0 match, but it's totally dominated by one person. But I think Maddie Marsh is definitely your top favorite um, at this weight class. I mean, she's number one for a reason. It's not just what she does here in the state; it's also what she does nationally. Um, but it's also nice to see too. Carmel has a good little freshman there, and Layla Mack having a good year, but unfortunately, probably got the worst draw possible that you could get.
Yes. So 145, Danella Ramirez Zarate, number 9, and then number 11, Riley Thomas from Alexandria. So in the top half bracket. So both of them avoid any ranked wrestlers, anything that stands out.
The Ramirez Zarate girl from Carmel, she was at 155 all year and dropped down right before sectional. And I think that was a good move for her. I think she might have a little better chance at 145 at placing a little higher than what she may have had at 155. Um, and then in that next one, Riley Thomas, probably your favorite coming out of that quarter bracket. But she could have a good match though there with Dodd from Perry Meridian.
And then the bottom half, Kennedy Stone, the only ranked wrestler in that the top quarter bracket. And then you got number 3, Caitlin Dibberin from Beech Grove and Avery Stevenson Eastbrook. So number 3 and 10, that could be a real good one. Dibberin, I think they had some pretty good wrestling history in the were they Beech Grove? Probably about your age, I think. Maybe a little bit younger. There's like triplets. They're Dibberin triplets back in the early 2000s.
I know what you're talking about now. So yeah. So unfortunately for the Stevenson out of Eastbrook, she takes that. Ramirez drops down. She loses to Ramirez Zarate last week and ends up drawing into Dibberin, who only has one loss on the year, and she is wrestling well. From last year to this year, there's a night and day difference with her. She really good right there. Jump up above that. I'm guessing probably the winner out of Flores and Stone is probably going to come out of that one.
So
They went to Perry Meridian.
Perry Meridian. Okay. Knew it was down. I knew it was South Side. So 155. Nice picture of Alexander Bastaic on the her profile. A little bit younger version of herself. Lacey Kirk of North Central, number 9. She could possibly hit up number 8. Esther, I'll just say Esther Ajash.
When I'm putting in results and I get to her, I just say Esther A.
Yeah, yes,
I type that in, Esther A.
yes. That's all you have to do. It should pull up that. That's what nice is. As long as you got an easier first name. So number 8 and 9. So that could be a real good match right there. And obviously you have some other wrestlers that have some. They don't have a lot of losses, so it's could be kind of an open quarter bracket there.
Yeah, this is also one of those weight classes of a lot of these girls, backing it back and forth with each other. I think like with Kirk and Esther A. Um, yeah, I'm trying to think. Have they wrestled each other?
I do not see it. So no, they have not. Which is kind of surprising. North Central and Lawrence
Yeah,
North are pretty close.
but Kirk has some wins over people that have beat Esther A. I believe that's right.
Oh no.
Or is
Esther
it
A
the other?
did. She did beat her. I did see it now. She
Okay.
did beat Kirk by pin in 51 seconds.
Okay.
So
So yeah, that should be a real good tick around match with Kirk and Esther A. And then you drop down to the next one. You got Elizabeth Fish out of Eastern Hancock. She's been, I think she was ranked for a week right there, and then you got Mass Engage right there on the outskirts too of the rankings. So that should be a good first round match, and winner of that possibly coming out of there.
the bottom half bracket, Journey Wells from Warren Central. She's number 11 ranked, and then number 16, Sophia Gropp of Westdell. So kind of a wide open weight class overall with everyone. The ranked girls are all separated, but there are definitely some landmines to watch out for there.
Yeah, Wells has that ranking, but watch out for that Kiasha Golden. Um, 11 losses, but still pretty tough wrestler. And same down with the bottom, Sophia Gropp. You know, she's there with the 4 losses, but Mila Smith has wrestled a lot of ranked opponents this year, and the Van Mater girl is also pretty decent there out of Mass and Grant.
170 top half bracket. You have number 13, Paisley Chambers of Westall, and then Jocelyn Stinson of Beech Grove. Everyone else is unranked, but still, that should be a good quarter bracket or half bracket.
Yes, Stinson had some good wins at the beginning of the year, and then was just kind of right there, just outside the rankings, but had a really good week at sectional to come out of sectional champ. I feel that she's probably should still be fine there in that quarter bracket. Chambers, she's a girl that's been around for a while. Should be fine up there at the top coming out of there.
And then the bottom half bracket is everyone, no one's ranked, and everyone has 7 to 13 losses. So that's going to be maybe we should do pick'ems. Might be fun to do some pick'ems with the girls to see.
You could do some. So the Gladney girl from Cathedral has some wins over some ranked girls. The Ray and Tilden should be a good match. I still think Gladney probably comes out of this quarter bracket. And they're at the bottom. Sophia Reigel, she's been around for a few years. Uh, but that could, I think the winner of her and a 40A or 40er from New Palestine probably comes out of that bottom bracket.
190. Good top half bracket. Zoe Gray, number 3. Triton Central, undefeated. And Shelby Life from Centerville, the other quarter bracket. She's also undefeated. So you could have undefeated wrestlers meet in the semifinals.
Yeah, so Zoe Gray, very good there out of Triton Central. Uh, tough, tough draw for the LaRoche girl from New Pal. She's there on the watch list, just outside the rankings. Um, with that next one, the undefeated Shelby Life from Centerville. Um, really, we haven't seen her since her freshman year. Her freshman year, she did really well, and then she wasn't there. The last 2 years, like it was like she was wrestling, and then she wasn't. I don't know if she was hurt or what. And to start this year, I didn't even think she was still wrestling, and then all of a sudden, about halfway through the year, I start seeing her name in some of the results. So she's back in there. So pretty good girl there out of Centerville.
She was 4th in 2023 at 160. So she's hasn't. It's interesting looking at their state credentials, and then you see someone 4th there. So bottom half bracket, you got Sophia Jones, Franklin Central, number 4. Then you got number 7 and number 11, Mara Crawford from Jay County, and Anissa Thompson from Perry Meridian, potential ticket rounder.
Yeah. Oh, go right back up to that where that Shelby Life was in that quarter bracket.
Yeah.
She's undefeated, ranked, but she does have someone from Yorktown. Watch out for this Walker girl. She had a good win and knocked out Belodi of Carmel last week at 190 to move on 1-1 nothing. Belodi was ranked, so yeah, don't count her out.
Mm-hmm. Could be a good ticket round match. So the bottom half, anything on the bottom half that sticks out?
Let's see. I think the Crawford and Thompson could possibly be a pretty good ticket round match right there. Jay County has been kind of hard to gauge this year. They really haven't input results and stuff as much as they have in the past. So it's kind of hard to judge on kind of how their season's going. Crawford was having a good season last year, and then got beat out at regionals. But she seems to be bouncing back this year. Kind of started out rough, but I think she should come out of that against Thompson. But I think that should be a good match there in the ticket round.
So the last weight class, 235, top half bracket. You only have Jaylee Holler from Franklin Central, number 5. Then a lot of girls with not very many matches, or it could be a wide open half bracket past the number 5 wrestler.
Yeah, that top half. I just know Holler. I mean, these other girls, I've tried seeing who they wrestled, and not a lot of big names sticking out. Although the Bird Song from Warren Central, I know she does have a couple good wins this year over some people. And then the Saul girl out of Hamilton Southeastern, 13-4, but she draws into Holler from Franklin Central, who is very tough, and a lot of her losses are to the same girls too. So
the bottom half bracket, returning state champion Rachel Dolphy from North Central. She's number 3 right now. And then Keely Allen, Greenfield Central. She's 24-1. We have 2 losses for her though. How's that? Um, someone finagling some records. So they both have lost to the same person. So could be a good semifinal match there.
Yeah, Keely Allen having a real good year from Greenfield Central. Beat a lot of good ones. They both and only has the one loss. Adolphe only has the one loss. Returning state champ. That could be a really good match. 235 is one of those top five girls, um, all very capable of winning state. So
Yeah, it does look like someone's finagling some records. I see 2 losses. So we need to fix that. So yeah, good weight class overall. I think that's gonna heavyweight might, or you don't want to call them heavyweights, but it could be some good matches for them. Let's double checking to see where the
yeah, you talking about saying the two losses for Allen?
yeah.
Yeah, because she's lost. Was it Jaylee Holler and Demar Tentacle something
Yeah,
Aguilar Tenkley?
yeah. I can't type right now. So anyway, so pretty good overall. Lots of great matches going to be happening on Saturday. Um, Definitely should be. I mean, team race wise, obviously, said Whiteland's been after about the first week. They've been kind of the power pole. While people don't think the power pole is worth anything, it does give a pretty good glimpse of where the top teams are and stuff. I'm just trying to see who the other teams were in the power poll. Franklin Central, obviously, they have some tougher draws. Crown Point has some tougher draws, so that could be very interesting. Hobart has a little bit better draws. Garrett's in a good spot in a lot of places. They have a lot of top end talent, which is what you need to be competitive. I think. Well, Whiteland has 10 girls that are ranked, so that's huge, and they come out in good spots in most of those places. So could be should be some good wrestling. Anything else? Any special thanks to anyone? Any coaches that have helped you out a lot this year and everything?
Well, I already said, called out, Coach Cooper of Whiteland, the information he's given me. Um, Other than that, no, it's just, just a handful of people, and a lot of it's, them kind of just saying stuff about their own daughter. But um, like I said, send me a message.
Yeah.
Um, you know, it's hard to find everything, especially some schools, especially in Southern Indiana. I think that's something we've always dealt with, is getting
Yes.
information out of Southern Indiana. I don't know, they just don't have internet down there.
Not yet. I
But
69 does go through Southern Indiana now, so maybe they'll start
yeah,
running some internet.
but but yeah. Other than that, I think it's gonna be a good tournament, a good regional. I think each year it's getting better. The
Mhm.
competition's getting better. I noticed so far this year, uh, less pins, a lot more of matches with overtime matches and ultimate tiebreaker matches, and it's not with girls that don't know much or that are new to the sport. It's the better girls in the weight class going at it and having those good matches. So it's awesome. It's awesome to see.
Yeah. The growth is pretty neat to see. As we said earlier, it's just one of those we get to see it firsthand, just the growth and the how much it has evolved in such a short time period of time. Was it how is it about 7 or 8 years now that we've had kind of officially had some girls wrestling, and it's just evolved from kind of oh, this is cool, and now it's growing. We got what, 3 weight classes with two state champs in them, at least 3 weight
Mm-hmm.
classes. So it's they're obviously not avoiding each other, which is really cool to see, and should make for some good matches at state. We'll definitely try to do another preview of the state finals show next week. So
Yeah, it should be available
yeah, so good luck to
between
all the
between
rest.
Phoenix and Cancun.
If you're not good luck to all the girls wrestling this weekend, and should be some good wrestling. If make sure you send in results and report them. With that, we're gonna get out of here, and we will see you guys Monday night for our boys show, and then probably I don't know what day we'll figure out a day for next week. Obviously, girls wrestling, the state finals is on Friday, so it'll probably be Tuesday or Wednesday, depends on schedules. So we'll see
I can do Thursday.
Thursday.
Yeah.
Okay, then we will do Thursday night. That is it. So with that, we'll get out of here, and we'll see you guys next week.